I really didn't know what I was going to say today. I knew I wanted to keep it short. We'll see how that goes. But Ian was obviously a very special person to me. You might have heard me speak about him once before, twice before, a couple more times than that. But it's because he was worth it. I mean, he was such an inspiration for me and everybody that has ever met him. Anybody that was in the jiu-jitsu community, in the fighting community, and heard his story, they were inspired. And he was just a happy-go-lucky kid, and never felt bad for himself, whether it was his cerebral palsy or it was his the cancer. He was just very upbeat and always very positive. And today's a special day because we get to dedicate him and put his poster up and a plaque, which is pretty awesome. Originally, when he was in the hospital, we were still very hopeful that he was going to get past this, and we were trying to be very positive for him, and he was very positive. But while he was there, we ended up coming up with the idea of making him one of the fighters. Every one of these fighters up here aren't just your amateur or pro fighter, but they fought in the UFC, which is pretty much like the NFL of fighting, if you're not familiar. So real quickly, we got a poster made. We put it up right above that squat rack. That's where it was. That's where Ian's poster was at. And we put that up. We took a picture of it, and we brought it to the hospital and showed Ian. And Ian was happy. He was in a tough spot, but you could tell how much it meant to him. But I made him a promise. I said, I'm going to make sure that this is in a way better spot than it is now. It's going to be a way better spot than John Volante, because we can't get Volante in a better spot than him. But we did better than that. Now we got him in the center of the gym. You walk into the gym, you know who runs the place. It's not Longo, it's not me, it's Ian Matuszak. He's our hero, and he's going to be with us forever. He'll never be forgotten. Everything he taught us will live on. And every time you come in here and feel sorry for yourself before a workout, look up at Ian and you get right through it. So it's an honor and a pleasure to have known Ian. Rest in peace. We love you. And Ian Matuszak, you're going to be up here. It says Ian Matuszak, 1995 through 2016, martial artist, warrior, teammate. And then actually, I'm not done yet, because the quote on the bottom, if you don't know the backstory of it, is, I could be wrong with time, but it was about 2.5 weeks before Ian passed away, I think. I went to the hospital, and I was hanging out with him. And this is just the time, if you don't know, I lost my last fight, and Ian actually was at that fight. He walked me out, which was an amazing experience for both of us. But that 2.5 weeks before he passed away, they announced that I'm going to be fighting with Rocco again in a rematch. And so I just was bringing this news to him, and he was just so excited to hear about it. And obviously, we were making plans for him to come out again. And at this point, he was still in a lot of pain and very tired, and really couldn't communicate. But he mustered up the energy to take my phone from me and put it in a quote. I asked him, I was like, can you help me with my he wasn't talking much. I don't think he could talk at this point. But I asked him if he could help me write my Twitter message to my fans, like a quote, just announcing my new fight, announcing my rematch. And so literally in about 20 seconds, his eyes open, he grabs my phone, and just starts tapping away with one hand. And he said, they say second chances lead to self-fulfillment and closure. So Ian, he didn't get a second chance. I got my second chance, and it's just amazing to tell you how smart this kid was with everything that was going on, and he could come up with something like this in an instant. So just another testament to how special this kid was. Anyway, I went home, and so dedication to Ian Matuszak, and now what we're doing, This is going to be glued up better.